Is it here yet?
No.
Is it here yet?
Nope.
Is it here yet?
No.
Is it here yet?
No.
Is it here yet?
No.
Is it here yet?
Let me check. No.
Is it here yet?
Welcome back to Retro Rebound. In today's video, we are going back to Pokemon Stadium 2. Today was Pokemon Presents. It was awful. However, one thing that we did learn was that Pokemon Stadium 2 is now available on Switch for you to play with their Switch Online service. So, with nostalgia coursing through my veins, I fired that bad boy up, and man, is it good to be back. I love Pokemon Stadium. Now, before any of y'all ask, what about Pokemon Stadium 1? Checkmate, I'm ahead of you. Back in the early days of Retro Rebound, we did a full retrospective of Pokemon Stadium. Go ahead and check that out if you missed it. But Pokemon Stadium 2 hasn't got a lot of love on this channel. The reason for that being is, well, I never played much of it. See, let's connect the dots here. You may or may not have seen my video on Pokemon Heart Gold. And that's a game that I didn't play up until last year. I completely missed Gen 2. So naturally, I also missed the Gen 2 component of Pokemon Stadium. So this is really my first traditional dive into the game by myself. There's a video over on my Mr. Matty channel of my fiance and I actually playing Pokemon Stadium mini games together, and she loves this game. So naturally, I had to see, what's she talking about? What is so great about Pokemon Stadium 2 compared to the first one? Well, while I have a lot of nostalgia for the first game, let's talk about what makes Pokemon Stadium so special, because yes, it really is that good. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new here and you're into nostalgic retrospective content, you're in the right place. Consider subscribing. To kick things off, what I want to highlight above anything else, if you take away one thing from this video, it's that Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 are still more impressive than your favorite modern Pokemon video games, okay? Yeah, chew on that, sucker. That's the sad reality of the Pokemon series, in my personal opinion. These games are still on a technical level impressive. What? A Nintendo 64 game? What, man? Let me break it down for you. It's the animation, it's the audio, it's the lifelike quality of the Pokemon. This is the game beyond Pokemon Yellow and Blue and Red that made me fall in love with the series, because it took these little pixels on the screen that I saw that were very meh and turned them into this, right? Just animated on screen. When they got hurt, you felt it. When they attacked, you saw it. This is what separated, I think, Pokemon from, oh, cool, fun, turn-based creature catching game to something truly believable. Now, some may attest all of that to the anime, and that's entirely fair, but in video game format with that interactive nature, it just adds something there. Having Scyther or Blastoise, two of my favorite all-time Pokemon, just seeing them there, behaving, doing their thing, and then attacking, it does something to you, man, if you really care about the series. And seeing that versus some of the stuff we've got in modern games, which I think, even with Scarlet and Violet, as I reviewed here on this channel, you know, it has a lot of potential within it, and it's getting better. I like Legends Arceus a lot, but obviously on a visual front, it's not impressive. To me, this is still one of, if not the most technically impressive Pokemon game we ever got for the time period it released within. It's still, to me, a good-looking game. It's still animation-wise impressive, and you gotta remember the hardware that it's on. I hope I didn't hit the reset. I did hit the reset button. Oops. You gotta remember the hardware it's on, okay, ladies and gentlemen, because that's the other factor here. The N64 didn't have much going on for itself in the terms of technical prowess. That's why Ocarina of Time was really impressive. That's why Pokemon Stadium is extremely impressive, because you have these 3D games with lots of audio packed in it, which takes up a ton of file space, and then they're all fully brought to life, and there's lots of cool mini games we'll talk about, and it's all here on one incy-bincy cartridge. That's always been the Nintendo spirit. You think of the size of the GameCube disc, you think of the size of a Game Boy cartridge, a Nintendo DS cartridge, and what content is packed in there, and it continues to blow your mind even to this day. But that's why I celebrate Pokemon Stadium so much, because anytime I fire it up, hearing the commentator reacting to any little thing that can happen in the match. So-and-so got paralyzed, now they're confused. They're reacting to every move I make audibly and visually. It's just a lifelike Pokemon experience. And I gotta get a little bit aggressive here. I'm gonna ask those of you out there who are sitting there with your headbands on going, the animations take way too long. It's not competitive enough. Take off the sweatband, wipe that perspiration off your forehead, and let me keep doing the talking, all right? Because I don't want to hear about this competitive nature, because Pokemon is also fun. And this game is fun. It's what it's all about. What do I mean by that? Well, beyond the stadium battles you're gonna do where you're gonna select all your Pokemon, and by the way, there is nothing more nostalgic to me than scrolling through that list and just picking out a bunch of Pokemon. Now, of course, with the transfer pack and having your Game Boy Color hooked up to this game, you can actually transfer Pokemon that you have caught into the game and build teams that you're gonna battle with in Pokemon Stadium, which is just an awesome companion feature. There's also gym battles you can do, which I thought was really cool, especially now that I played Heart Gold, like seeing Faulkner in the opening gym. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, there's a connection here. I like that type of stuff. But fun is best displayed in the mini games. What is Pokemon Stadium without its absolutely mind-bogglingly good mini games? For real. Like, I think as a kid, when it came to Pokemon Stadium 1, I spent just as much time being an idiot in the mini games as I did fighting Pokemon, if not more time in the mini games. I distinctly remember hangouts dedicated to Pokemon mini games. I had neighbors who had these parties and they all brought their kids over, and what did we play? Pokemon Stadium mini games. That's what it was all about, man. Like, I have so much nostalgia for these. And just like in Pokemon Stadium 1, Pokemon Stadium 2's mini games are fantastic. Now, if you ask my fiance, she says they're better. I don't know about that quite yet, but I think nostalgia's doing a bit of the talking for me. However, when it comes to Pokemon Stadium 2, these are just such a good time. Like, I love the Eevee one where, again, the lifelike nature, the way Eevee's trotting in a circle. Just reminds me of my own little puppy, Rufus, that I just got. Like, just so cute, right? And you're reaching for the fruit. It's WarioWare kind of spirit, but it's here in a Pokemon game. And that's why I just want to see Pokemon Stadium or Coliseum or whatever come back in some way, shape, or form, because I just feel so many people would, of course, like the stadium experience, but the mini games, man, they're so important. They're so important. Oh my gosh. There's other cool ones, like being able to count how many Pokemon run through, because they're fun for all ages. Like, you could be a parent with your kid, play and have fun, easy to understand, easy to pick up. It could be me, nostalgic, fun to pick up. It could be someone jumping in for the first time. It's dumb fun. It could be a real competitive nature. Do I seriously mean competitive? Well, yes, actually. I ran a series on Mr. Matty Plays called Friendly Competition. It was there we competed in Pokemon Stadium mini games. And it got heated. It was great. And when you're like doing the tournaments and you're running through that gauntlet of mini games and it's deciding, hey, which one's gonna show up, and everyone gets that one mini game where it's like, oh no. Like, one that is so skill based is the Scyther Pinsir wood cutting one. Oh man, I'm so bad at that. But I just have so much fun with these mini games as much as the battling, and it gives the game a sense of spirit, right? Yeah, you have the companionship with the Game Boy Color version. Then you have the lifelike nature of the animations, the audio, the fun battles, and then you get the mini games. It's just the complete package to me. It really is a continuously fun time through and through. Unfortunately, not so fun that I can get the complete in box because funds are running a little dry right now. We're buying other games for other videos coming up, and I'm just like, whoa, looking at the prices of complete copies for, I want Pokemon Stadium 1 in my collection so bad, but 2, oh my own. So I apologize for no complete in box experience in this video, but we had to sit down and talk about Pokemon Stadium 2 today with the news, with it being playable for everybody. And as someone who's not super nostalgic for it, I can come in a little bit more objectively. It's just building upon the first one. More mini games, more Pokemon naturally, and more stadiums to be within, more arenas. So there's more visual diversity, which is always great. Something else I really love about the Pokemon Stadium experience, if you will, is the Dream Team combos. Because, okay, call me lazy, but sometimes I don't love the grind of Pokemon, you know, finding the legendary and working 80 plus hours. I love Pokemon Stadium rentals. I love that I can open up that nostalgic ass list and I can scroll through a litany of Pokemon and go, ooh, Blastoise, Dragonite, Articuno, bang, bang, boom, and put them all together and then challenge some gyms. To me, that's what also helped me explore the world of Pokemon as a kid and made those previously legendary, unfathomable teams that required so much effort possible with just the press of a button. I love that they included that. It should be expected nonetheless, but this is something that always excited me as a kid and still to this day does. And then when you have the different cups and the different levels and challenges and types of Pokemon you can use, I feel like 2 did get creative with that type of stuff, where like the level 5 challenge is there. And I like that stuff because it limits you to maybe starter Pokemon, or of course when you do the Prime Cup and it's 1 to 100, there's a lot more challenge there. And it's something that I think is overlooked in these games often, as well. It's more bombastic and I guess slower paced in its back and forth combat. It's really just that there is tactical depth here, which Pokemon has always, I say, secretly had, because I think since it's so popular, it's the highest grossing entertainment IP on the planet. So pardon me for my assumption, but a lot of people just like the more casual experience. And I'm right there with you. I try not to overthink Pokemon at all. Like, I've never really played Pokemon online. I don't try these crazy self-imposed challenges, although that may be fun to try, like Nuzlocke one of these times for the channel. But I just got to throw out there that, you know, this game, don't let the looks deceive you. Sometimes you can get just a little bit tactical. It's not too bad. And one thing I gotta actually shout out the Switch service for, I'm gonna keep it real because that's where all this gameplay was captured. I gotta shout out that the Switch service did kill a lot of the slowdown that happens in combat. I, call me ignorant, was not aware of how much slowdown happens on the N64 when there's a lot of particle effects on screen. I thought the slow motion, I know it sounds stupid, was legitimately part of the experience. Like, oh, yeah, he really felt that. And it's like, oh, he's reeling. But then you're playing it on the Switch, and I felt like I had speed hacks on. It was going smooth. So just something to keep an eye on, because I never played the first Pokemon Stadium on Switch online, because for me, I always fire up the N64. But just something to put out there for you all who maybe are like me and haven't tried it out. That's something that did catch me off guard. Also, there are certain things that are inaccessible because you don't have a game pack attached, and there's no way to circumvent that. So there's still a lot of value to having this bad boy right here, the cartridge itself, and then maybe you get the manual in the box afterwards. But I spent about $70 on this at the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo that they do every August, actually. So I bought this just about a year ago today, which is kind of funny. And I want to see if I can go to that again this year because it was a ton of fun. But y'all got to bring your prices down. You charge way too dang high. But nonetheless, absolutely fun time going back to this one, and just wanted to share some love for Pokemon Stadium here today. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, take excellent care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next Retro Rebound. Peace